Good evening. Welcome to day 12 of our Smart Financial Move series. My name is Jude, your favorite financial educator here on TikTok, which I talk to people of my color in the diaspora around finances so that we can have the best life which we came here to look for. If you are joining me for the first time, you're welcome. I've been doing something I do once every quarter called the Smart Financial Move series, whereby I stream for 15 full days from the middle of the month to the end of the month, considering different topics, that can help us maximize life. How has today been? How has it been? It's quite hot here in the UK. So pardon me if you are hearing noise, a little bit of noise beside me. I have to put on the fan. The fan has literally been working since morning. Good evening. How are you? It's been a while. Oh, you enjoyed yesterday's section. Awesome. Please, if you're joining me for the first time, you're welcome. Please, guys, let us let us share. Let's get the like to 1,000 so that we can hit the road running immediately. I have been feeling a little bit tired in the sense of I've been streaming for the past 11 days. Today is my day 12. So imagine showing up every day for the past 11 days, every day, nothing less than 2 hours plus every day. I'm actually missing my me time. I'm just waiting for the entire series to finish so that I can go and relax. We always show up, nevertheless, how we feel. Our assignment is to show up. We don't do things only by their convenience. We show up because we need to show up. So it's necessary for us to be here. That's why I believe that's a lesson for somebody who feels like giving up on one of the things that you are doing, or you feel like it's not working. You don't get the results when you give up. You get the opportunity of getting better when you show up. I use the story of Thomas Edison a lot. Guys, let's get that like to 1,000 so that we can hit the road running. I use the story of Thomas Edison a lot, the guy who discovered the incandescent lights. He was told, there was a saying that he failed 999 times and he got it right on the 1,000th test of getting the same light that we're enjoying. Thank you, bro. An interview was granted to him asking him that, but you've been failing, why did you keep continuing? After the fact that you have failed 999 times. He said, no, I did not fail 999 times. Point of correction. I discovered 999 ways in which it cannot work. When you see people who are pushing or who are getting the work done, it's not because they don't feel the same way every other people feel. But they find a stronger cause, a stronger why. They found a stronger reason why I need to put in the work now, even when it's a little bit demanding. I wish I can give us a glimpse of what is on my head beyond this streaming I'm doing now. But we know that story would most likely not get better if we don't put in the work. So I'm encouraging somebody there, put in the work, do that delayed gratification, do the investment, stretch yourself, do that research, think of that business that you can do, stretch yourself into it. Your possibilities are closer when you put yourself in the game. What I'm trying to say is look for a stronger reason why you should still show up. Look for a stronger reason. Yes, there are a lot of opposition, a lot of rejection, a lot of limitation around you. I agree. But please look for a stronger reason why you still show up. Why? Because it's only when you show up. There's this saying we say in our local balance. They say, now who give up, mess up. So your possibility ends at the point where you say you are not doing again. But for every time you keep showing up, you are learning or discovering a way. So this is why I don't say I cannot. In my vocabulary, you rarely hear I cannot. What I ask myself is, how can I? Why? Because naturally around us, the way the mind of man is wired is when you say you cannot, your brain goes to bed. When you say it's not possible, when you say it's difficult, when you say it's not doable, your mind goes to bed. But when you say, how can I? There's a way your mind touchlights and start looking for what and how it can be done. So I just feel that I should encourage somebody, please go, apply again, put in that application, get the feedback from the one you did last one, put into work the feedback they told you, revamp that thing again, go back again. Your possibility is in you showing up. Your possibility is in you showing up. If there's anything you owe your destiny, is to keep showing up. Not because there are no challenge, not because the finance is not constraining, but this one you owe yourself is to show up. If you don't show up, forget it. If you don't show up, just forget it. If you keep showing up, one day, I like what I call that one day, that opportune time, whereby it will make up for all the time when it seems like you didn't know what you were doing. But if you give up for every trial, if you give up for every test, you tried something, it's not working, immediately you say you are not doing again. You are limiting your possibility. I like what somebody said. He said when you put your energy or your effort into getting something, it's like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, it doesn't germinate and come out immediately the same day. But the moment you are trying it, you are doing this, and I don't know if okay, I'm a Christian, so I can speak. The Bible says if you plant a seed, it said it will die first before it grows. Do you know the process of death? Do you know what it means? That means the thing looks like it's incapacitated and it cannot produce. So the person gave this analogy that many of us, when we plant a seed, we expect it to germinate the next day. However, we don't know that there is already a death process, in the sense of there's a part whereby it's going to demand so much. But between that death process and the next phase is the ability for it to grow and to germinate. But unfortunately, many of us, at the point of germinating, we stop watering it. We stop putting attention to it. If you've heard about the Japanese bamboo before, the Japanese bamboo is one of a strange and a weird bamboo. And this is what is said about it. Averagely, a bamboo tree, imagine there are two farmers who are into bamboo plantation. And the normal, modern, generic bamboo, when you plant it, maybe the first how many months, you start seeing sprouts showing up, you just see it growing. And the Japanese bamboo, it is said that within the first 2 years of planting, nothing shows up from the ground. Now, that looks like let's paint that picture. So imagine coming in and you are the farmer of that Japanese bamboo, and you keep coming every month to water in quotes, the invisible thing that you are expecting to come up. While you are still watering and expecting it to germinate, the other guys are harvesting in the first year. So for you keep planting, you keep coming. It has to take the ability to see, insight, a different way of reasoning, to keep showing up for 2 years, watering that same bare ground that looks like nothing. But do you know something that is fantastic about this bamboo, this variation of bamboo? After the second year, in less than 6 months, it grows by a minimum of 90 feet. In less than 6 months, it grows by a minimum of 90 feet. Trust me, the price for purchasing that kind of bamboo can never be the same with the common one. So imagine the farmer trying to give up at year 1, month 9, not knowing that in just 3 more months, that same thing, if you give it another 2 months or another 3 months, will start sprouting so fast and so massively. And definitely the desire for it, or the purchasing power for it, the demand for it is high. So I'm saying to some of us, we came in 2 years ago, we came in 3 years ago, and we already feel like giving up. We already feel like it's not working. Can you sit down and ask yourself, what have I been doing again for the past 3 years that is not different? Because somebody said something, and I always agree with this statement. He said, if you are doing something for 3 years and it seems like something is not working, there's every tendency that there's something missing or there's something I'm doing wrong. So instead of me locking the door and telling myself it's not working, it's not doable, it cannot work, I sit down and ask myself, how can I get it better? I'm working in the warehouse, I'm working as a carer. It seems like it's difficult to get the corporate job. I don't say it's because it's of my racial color. That is why they are not choosing me. I ask myself, what can I do differently? What is the thing that if I add it to it, it can increase my value and the possibility of getting it? Then I start asking myself, who are the people that can give me such information that can equip me to move closer to it? So you see that the way we think really shapes our ability to stay on something, to get results out of things. So it's important for us. I keep saying it, show up. There's something that I have here that is on my wall. Let me see if I can flip it and show you guys. It's on my wall here. Just 1 second. Let me flip my camera and show you. Just 1 second. All right, so that you can see it. Okay, forget every other thing you are seeing behind me. I just want to show you. Look at it. It says, when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Whenever you feel like quitting, which is normal, remember why you started. Because the truth is, there's not many at times, there's nothing really, really special about those who got the results than the fact that they are the people who have learned not to give up at things. So they don't do things because they are easy. They don't do things because they are easy to do. So it's not about easy peasy lemon squeezy. They know that they cannot become different from what they are right now the moment they give in, the moment they give up. Somebody said something about rich people. He said the rich and the poor, they feel the same way. They feel like not doing things sometimes. However, the rich do it notwithstanding. So you find out that the things you are doing, the way you are structuring how you're operating in life goes a long way in determining what your outcome is. Reality of life, please live in. Everybody is different. Do you understand? What I like about what we do here is the fact that you know why you came. I will never mistake the fact that somebody else came for the same reason. But let's just focus. I don't even see that kind of comment. And if there's something I really need to commend you guys that are here, this has been one of the most LD community I have ever seen in my life. LD. And it says a lot about us that there are some of us that are in the thinking space that wants to create something in life. And I want to commend you. But trust me, Sam K, I love you so much. And I believe very soon you will get the insights. All right, so let's continue our conversation. All right, so it's important for you to know that you cannot give in. You have come too far. You cannot give in. I know it's hard. Like they say, Yakubu manage. But don't let us now manage in foolishness or manage in lack of insight. We are asking ourselves, what is missing? What are the things I can do better? What is the new thing I can add to what I'm doing to get the kind of result I came here for? In the past 15 days, we've been talking about several topics. For those who are joining me for the first time, my name is Jidene, your favorite financial educator here on TikTok. I just had to do a little bit of inspiring people to know that it's not always easy for every one of us, but we do it notwithstanding. And I've been doing what I call the Smart Financial Move series, where I stream from the 15th of the month to the end of the month, showing up 6 p.m. UK time every day, talking about different topics. So we've spoken about understanding the system, which actually formed the basis of our conversation. One of the first things that you will discover, especially if you are in diaspora, is the fact that the system was never created to make you wealthy. The system was never designed to give you, in quotes, that kind of life you came here to settle for. Please don't ever mistake it. The reason why the door was open, thank you so much, bro or sis. The reason why the door was open was because they needed something to fill a void, not because they like you. Don't mistake it. Now, you are now in the system. Unfortunately, the only thing you are doing is following it hook, line, and sinker the way the system has designed for it, without reminding yourself that the reason why they brought us in was not because they liked us or they want us to be successful, was because there was a need and they needed somebody to fill it up. So the mistake or the service you can do to yourself is to wait on the system to get the kind of life you came here for. And that's why you have to sit down and ask yourself, who is determining what I can earn? Which is determining when I can work and how much work I can work? Who is determining what kind of life I would have? Guys, those are the people in control. And the work is to sit down and ask yourself, how can I start shifting control to myself? And that's where the ability to understand that's where the power of options is very important. Now, if you look at the system, what the system expects you to do is come in, get a work or work in 9 to 5, pay your tax, get into whatever you're doing, pay your pension, prepare for your future. When you are 67 and you are tired, they tell you to retire so that you can go back to what the pension system has been designed there for you. But the question I'm asking you, is that the kind of life you came here to settle for? Thank you so much. Is that the best life can give to you? And that's why you cannot sit down and keep following that kind of system. Why? Because the system can never give you the kind of life you came here for. And that's why you have to understand that the game change really starts when you start putting yourself in control. Guys, this is not so much about immigration. That we cannot control it to an extent. Even there's a way you can control that. But really, to an extent, you cannot control that. So if you keep waiting on, okay, wait until when I get ILR, then I'll start putting myself in charge of my life and determine the kind of life I want for myself. Do you know what 5 years is? Now they are making proposal that it will move from 5 years to 10 years, or some people 15 years. Do you know what locking your life for 10 years is? Do you know what it means? Do you know how valuable that 10 years is? That means you that came in at 35, if they lock it to 10 years, mean you will spend until you wait until you are 45. Do you know the energy that has been wasted between that age that you came and the age, if you are all you are waiting for is ILR? And that's why we keep telling ourselves that this is one of the most active seasons of our life. We have to sit down and ask ourselves, how can we change the narrative? How can we start creating the picture of what we want within the system where we find ourselves? It's important for us to have that conversation. I'll be turning to my board from time to time to do an analogy, and I'm doing this again because of people who are joining me for the first time or people who are hearing me. Then I'll link it to the conversation we'll be having today. All right, so turning my board, guys, please, if you can see my board, please let me know in the comment section. Can you see my whiteboard? Our favorite whiteboard. Comment section, guys. Please let me know in the comment. Can you see? Awesome, beautiful. This is practically the life journey of almost everybody in the whole earth, and especially those of us that are also in this country. All right, so we call this axis age. We call this axis potential. We call it power. We call it possibility. Here to our favorite whiteboard. Everybody was born, and between that age 0 and age 18, I call it a dependency period. That's the period whereby you are not expected to really produce anything. You depend on your parents. In the system, there's always something that will take care of you until this age. You know, social system is there. There's support within the community, even in diaspora, in the UK at least, that will take care of you between 0 and age 6. It's now almost like 16. It's no longer, it doesn't look like 18 to me. Some of the letters I'm seeing that they are sending home about our children. But let's assume to age 18. So nobody is expecting you to pay any bills. Nobody is seeing you as somebody that would need to earn money. You know, if you are borrowing, if you are renting house, for instance, they will ask you, do you have anybody who is living that is above age 18? At that age, they see you that you have to move to this second quadrant. And this one, I like to call it between 18 and age 60. 18 and age 60, I call it the most active season of your life. Why is it the active season of your life? This is the season whereby they expect you to start generating and taking care of yourself. I call it a gift. Why do I call it a gift? This is a season whereby you can do two things if you use it well. You can build or you can create. So some of us create or some of us are building, and the only thing we are building is we are building our career as employees. So all we are doing here for some of us, and everybody that even actually entered into the UK for the first time, you would enter to start building what you call your career. So we started by building our career as employees. But unfortunately, many of us, this is the only thing we would spend all our life, our active season of our life doing in our growing age. So imagine between 18 and 60, actually in the UK is 67 at retirement. All you did was to spend it as employee. Is it wrong? Is it bad? The answer is no. But what I want you to understand is whatever you build here is going to determine what your rest of your age. Let's assume you live until you are age 88. What you build here becomes the legacy that will take care of this season again, which is another dependency season. This is another season whereby you don't have energy to work like you had here. Yeah, you can do more than 40-hour shift. You can do 2 jobs. You can do many things here. You know, but many of us just use it as employee. The question I'm asking is, all that you are doing here, will it take care of you at this season of your life? Will you be sufficient enough to take care of your living expenses? Will it give you the life of your dream at this stage? Or all you'll be left with is to be forced to either go into care home If at this stage of your life you are still paying for mortgage, I'm asking you, what did you do with this season of your life? Another thing I'd like to mention at this season of your life is, as your age increases, your value in this employment space starts reducing. You will start discovering that as people clock age 50, age 57, they stop going for conferences. They stop thinking of certification. They stop thinking of many things. I tell people at this place, if you are close to this stage of your life and you are not already building something that will take care of you here, I'm asking you, how are you using your active season? You see why this conversation is important for us to think. The person who came in at age 35, one day will be 67. So imagine your mom. Look at your mom's age. Look at your dad's age. Look how they are at age 60. One day you will become that age. Will you still keep running after train because you have to go and resume in a 9 to 5? Is that the reason why you came into this Western world? Is that what you came here to settle for? But remember, I said every one of us is building and creating. Some of us, if you build it for 9 to 5, the only thing you are left with is your pension. So we are praying for you between this age and 67. Even if you have 100,000 in your pension pots, we are praying for you that there's no emergency surgery that you need to do. The money will be looking at you. You will be looking at the money, but you will most likely go and borrow money to do that surgery. So we are asking ourselves, what are you building? Whatever you are building, is it putting you in charge? It is called control. Is it putting you in charge? Or is it making you to keep depending on the system all your life? Depending on the system all your life. Depending on the system all your life. Guy, you are already a fighter. I need to remind some of us that you have taken the biggest risk you could have ever taken in your life. You would literally packed everything you have in your country, relocated with your family. Some of us even sold everything we had and we came into this country. That means you were able to and you were willing to take risk. But I'm asking, why now get into the system and start settling for the bare minimum life? We used to call baller, agbabola in Nigeria. Now we are now looking at you and we're asking, what is missing? What is missing? Why? Because you are waiting for the system to hand over to your hand the kind of future you came here to look for. Guys, if you forget everything I've said today, please don't ever forget that it's all about control. It's all about control. When you earn money at the end of the month, before the mid of next month, you are left with probably 10% of what you earn in a month. It's all about control so that you can keep going. You can keep going. You can keep going. So like I said, I'll draw something again. I'll turn to my board and draw something again so that we can continue the conversation. Yes, it is not bad to start as employee. So we all literally came into this country on a 9 to 5 basis. So in this space, we find out that there's a limit to how much we can earn based on what my oga or my employer sees me as valuable. Yeah, in this place, we discovered that I have to sell my time perpetually to survive or to live life. In this space, we found out that tax is not beneficial to anybody who is here. Why? The more you earn, the more you pay in tax. So you discover that if I run my entire active season of my life living in this place alone, number one, there is a big limitation that has been created around that place. And trust me, this limitation is so designed in a way that it can keep running for years and years to come. So what is the picture? Even though I am here, and I know the only reason why they are keeping me is because of the value they see I am bringing in to the space. The question is, with this same value, can I remove the limit on my earning potentials? With this same value, can I get the best return for the time I am putting into it? Or will I keep waiting one day until when I climb up the ladder, career ladder? Is that the best that my life and this value that I'm bringing into the space can it give to me? Guys, nobody will keep you in your workplace if you don't have this. It's called value. So they are not keeping you because of because of how fine or how good your English is. They are keeping you because you are there to solve problem. Now I'm saying you need to start thinking outside that box and move to this second place, where in the UK they call it self-employed. Some of us call it side hustle, whereby you are using that same vehicle of value to increase your earning potentials, so that whatever you are getting here is not what is determining your future outcome. Now you are using a big vehicle where there is no limit. Nobody can tell you that the highest you can earn is £12 per hour. Nobody can tell you that if you work with them for 3 years, the highest they will increase your salary here is 3%. Why? Because you are now in charge. It's called control. And this is why I'm saying that beyond just being an employer, ask yourself, what is the problem I can solve that people are willing to pay me for? Many of us came from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Cameroon. We were chefs. We were into baking, we were into hair making, we were fashion designer. Suddenly we came in and we settled for this alone in what we are doing. Why we are limiting that same potential that you have been building for 18 years experience before you came into this country? You should sit down and ask yourself, what I have, is there a version of it that there is a demand here in the UK that I can produce value in it, solving a problem? Another way I like to identify it is there a demand that I have skill or something that I can supply that people can exchange for money? Bro, sis, you have to understand this, that people don't pay you because of how fine, because of how loud you are. They pay you because of the value you are bringing. But what you have done is you have removed the earning limitation where it is pegged in your employment space. Many of us are good data analysts. We are HR professionals from Nigeria. Many of us are good in accounting. Do you know how many small business that is looking for an accountant that can help them manage their book, and they will be willing to pay you as little or as much as 50 or 200 pounds every month? Guy, if you have 3 business or 2 business meeting their need, they are paying 200 pounds every month. You know how many hours you have to work here to make that 200 pounds? Guys, in this space for me last year, what I went going to work as a digital marketing manager for one of the biggest logistics firms, doing it Monday to Friday. In this space, I was able to make it more than this, whatever this one was paying me. I was able to make it in a year by just showing up on Saturday. But what is the difference? I identify the value I can bring. I identify the problem I can solve. Then I ask myself, where is the audience that have that problem, that are willing to pay me in response to the value that I am creating? So you discover that this place, suddenly the limitation of finance is removed from your life. At this place, you discover that many of the things that you feel you don't have options or you have option on it. You don't need to do the extra shift here again. Why? Because you are creating something that is putting you in charge already. But when you start doing this is something I like to describe from a tax perspective. This place is still not as safe as you think. Even though you are earning more, as far as HMRC is concerned, they see you in the same bracket this person is as an employee. So the more you earn, remember that the equation with HMRC for employees and self-employed, the more you earn, the more your tax moves up. And I say it's not so much of how much you make. It is so much of how much you keep. And that's why as you are ported to this second place, you have to also start thinking of how can I move to this third place, which is where we talk about business or business owners. Why? The same opportunity to earn more, you find it here. But the opportunity to keep more from what you are earning, you will find it here, while you cannot find it here. Why? Because this guy is seen as a different entity. This guy is not seen as a different entity. So whatever happens here, they look at it, and you know what it happens between this guy and this guy? Your tax can go as high as 45%. But do you know that corporate tax is like 19%, depending on what you are doing? So I like drawing this cash flow so that we can understand why we need to start thinking differently and stop waiting for the system to hand over what we came here to look for. Cash flow, I like using this diagram a lot so that you can understand it. As an employee, your salary, they told you they are giving you 45,000 per annum as your salary. 45,000 pounds. Oh, welcome, bro. Very soon, sir. 45,000 pounds as your salary. Before the money gets to you, who is the first person that touches it? Tax. So whatever is left is what gets to you, which is what I call your income. And I tell people, please don't mistake your salary as your income. There is this middleman here. He doesn't look at your face. But you know, as a business owner, you make sales. Yes, right? Sales. Beautiful. Before you touch anything that has to do with this, you have to do one deduction. Remove cost of your doing business. Right? After you remove that cost, then you talk about profit. Then it is from your profit that you touch your tax. That tax man can touch you. Can you see that the same person making 40 grand here, and this person in business also make 40 grand here? This guy would always keep paying more tax than this guy. Why? Because if you have a good accountant, this place, you can do a lot of miracle and a lot of wonder. You see why it's important for us to start thinking differently. That even though I started as an employee, I'm asking myself, what is the value I have that somebody can demand and increase the payments they want to give to me? The reason why I don't stay here for too long is because HMRC will tell me there's something we call a trading allowance. The moment I start making more than 1,000 pounds in a year, HMRC will bring out his tax with my machine and fire me. I have to move to this guy so that I can secure it. And this is where we'll be having our conversation today. We've spoken about employee. I invited somebody to talk about employee. We've spoken about self-employed, and I've told you guys that this is one of the best places when you start identifying something that is working for you again and again. Start asking yourself, how can I create a legacy about it? But today we'll be having a conversation talking about business, especially to we immigrants here in the UK. I checked an analytics, and it was shown to us that our liability to asset ratio for we the black is the highest in the UK. That means we owe more than we have as assets. That means we owe more than we have bad assets, and we have more than 28% higher than any other race here in the UK. And I'm saying we cannot change narrative if all we are thinking is just one limited stream of income. We have to ask ourselves, what is the problem we can solve that can increase the way we earn? Remember yesterday we had a conversation about asset and liability, but today we are talking about business. A research was done, and I'll be bringing up my guest very soon. A research was done, and they analyzed how people became wealthy. And from the research, they discovered that over 70% of people in that particular research became wealthy by doing business. About 25% of them became wealthy by investing into the market. 5% of them became wealthy because of one talent they have. Either they are a musician or they are into that skill. They just have one skill that brought them into the wealth zone. Do you know what is the percentage of those who became wealthy as employee? 0. 0. So we'll be having conversation about we immigrants, especially my color. How can we launch into business in this UK? And how can we start navigating our path from where we are? We all came in as an employee into where the real wealth, which is the economy, real wealth really functions. How can we move into that? And today, I will not be doing justice to this alone. I am the person that like bringing experts, people who are good in a space, to come and talk to us about this. First and foremost, if you are not following me, trust me, you'll be losing money because you'll not be hearing things that will help you make money again and again. So how do you follow me? It's free. Just click the plus button beside my face, my name there, up there, so that you follow me. I have one And I respect this person a lot. I call him the firstborn. And the reason why I call him firstborn is not a product of age. It's a product of the fact that you can see somebody who is creating a pathway. But it's not just creating the pathway, but it's showing people how they can enter into that pathway and will become a voice indeed in this Western world or in diaspora. Many of you know him as Henry Idea. You know, he's somebody that came just like every one of us as immigrants into this country. But many of you see his content. Some of you are controversial. They think of it from a controversial point of view. But I've seen many people's life who has been transformed from who came in confused into this country to becoming business owners in this country. So we'll be having a good interaction with my brother today. I call him my brother, Mr. Henry Idea. You know, whereby he will be talking to us from a business point of view. How can we structure and position ourselves? Ogasa, your picture, your face is not showing so that they're not going to think saying AI. Yeah, this is the man himself. I like the lion. Whenever I see this lion behind you, I know say this one. Today is going to be a serious day. Good evening, my brother. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah,
Nice to have
I'm blessed. Well done.
nice to have you. Thank you so very much.
It's nice to be here. It's nice to
Thank
be
you,
here.
thank you, thank you,
Well
thank you.
done.
I really do not want to do a lot of talk again because you see I've done a lot of preamble trying to make people see why we need to start focusing in this direction. But me, I like giving people their flowers when we can, you know, so that it's not only when in quotes, you know, some people naturally are waiting for when things don't work and say, we say it, we say it now, we don't come. Understand? But one thing I would like to say to you is you are doing a very good work. You are doing a very tremendously good work, and people can tell. I also can tell. And this is my joy when I see somebody of my color. You know, I've seen a lot of people who are Arabs. I've seen people who are British, the natural British doing it. But when I see people of my color, it gives me more joy. Why? Because it's telling us it's doable, it's possible. We can come into this country and within a short time, we can move in a speed that people cannot imagine. Bro, I know there are some people who are here who have not met you before, who don't know you before, who have not joined your stream before. I want us to just do a little recap. Who is Henry Idea? Is that your father's name? Or is that your natural name? And don't give us government name. I like the idea behind the name. So it gives us an idea of who you are. But what do you do? How did you start this journey?
Well, my name is Henry. Henry Robert. I'm a business consultant. Henry Idea is just my brand name. I just want to, I believe in naming so much. So I was thinking, what will make me stand out in this space and bringing ideas to my own name. So Henry is head of house, right? Head, leader.
You see, sir,
Ideas
correct.
is-
Are correct.
So I mix the two together, and I always say I lead, others follow.
Awesome. Okay, you're welcome, sir. Can you just give us a little background about you? Did you come into this country as a business and that's all you were doing, or you came in like every one of us? You know, we just want to know if you came in with silver spoon.
Okay, I think when I'm talking, yours is echoing. So there, someone is saying
So
that.
I will mute when you're
Yes.
talking. You
So
can continue.
Yeah, I didn't really come in with. I came in, I think, was it 300 pounds? At hand, I've shared the story several times. I just came in with a dream. I came with the plans written out. If there's one thing I came into this country with is a well-detailed plan of my next 5 years, and everything I ticked on that plan, I've achieved all of them. I'm just a person running with an idea in my head, faith and plan. That's just what I came in with. Started from a care home. I always share this every time. I think it was less than a month into this country, I got my first job working with people that they've discharged from hospital that had COVID. That was during COVID, and yeah, we were the one taking care of them. And I worked from there, from that care home. Then I went to the NHS, from the NHS to supported living, from supported living to mental health, back to NHS. Then I covered everywhere in mental health, eating disorder, learning disabilities, CAMS, PQ, acute, everywhere, every phase in mental health. I covered everything. Then went further, progressed from there to nursing, became a nurse, Then, while at the same time, I was also juggling business as well. I came in as a dependent, and yeah, it's been so far so good. Jumping here and there, trying to, and every of my step, right? Everything I do, is just that is why I keep on documenting it to tell you it is possible. We've been there, we've done it. This is how to do it. That's why I always achieve something and come out and say it out there. But though things are changing a little bit around me because I found out that the UK is a kind of a different terrain. It wouldn't change me personally, but again, yeah. But that's how my journey have been. Yeah.
All right, so I want to ask a good question, a very simple question. Thank you so much for that. When or how did that shift happen from you, from being an employee, full 9 to 5, to becoming a business owner? What really happened, or how did it happen?
I've always been the type that loved business. Even while I was doing my 9 to 5, everything around me, I see business opportunities from it. Everywhere I go, I ask myself, what is the business here? I believe anything I'm doing, there should be a business opportunity for me. So, starting from the UK when I got in, from the care home, I was already asking myself, what's the business here for me? All right. I'm a kind of a person that I can create business out of nothing. One of my first business in this life was when I was growing up. I've shared my story several times how I started from referrals for phone, repairing a phone. But I could remember one time I went to Warri to stay to live with my auntie, and I created a business from nothing. So we were working in construction sites, the cement bag, we're using cement bags, right? And I've been asking myself, where is the business idea here for me? So one day I went to Awo, they call it Awo, right? So they were bringing sand, right? They will bring the sand from water, we will now bag it, they will now take it to places like Escravos and, inside those villages, right? And I'm now asking, what is the business? Because if you're asking yourself, right, what is in here for me? The thing in there for you will show up one day, right? Because your mind is always, what is here for me? So I could remember one day I was just relaxing and I saw a bookie came in with cement bag. And I was studying what was happening. Aboki gave cement bag and collected money. Say, what's happening here? I went to meet Aboki. I said, Aboki, what did you just do to get this money? I've been here throwing sand from boats to the land since morning. I'm only going to live here with 1.5. You came here, you're collecting almost 1.5. Aboki said he's selling the cement bag. I said, really? He said, yes. I went to find out from the woman, do you buy the cement bag? She said, yes. The one that we are using to put the sand, she said, yes. I said, good. If I bring for you, how much will you give me? So she told me, I think it was 10 naira or 5 naira thereabout for per each cement bag. And I'm like, are you serious? She said she'll pay me cash. I know she was even beating the price down from what she was paying their bookie. So I thought to myself, look, I've worked in several construction sites. This is an opportunity for me. I left throwing sand. I love packing shippings. I love doing Oguaja work. I started selling bags. I started selling from bike. I was using bike. 2 bike men were my personal drivers. We'll be bringing this sack back. From bike, I went into a car. I outgrew the car. I went into a bus. I was using bus. So I was able to make, in a week, I can make up to 5,000. Whereas before I would see 5,000 for Guaja work, my God, I want my back. I would have drank painkiller for like another 1,000, 1,000 naira. So that is how I started. So what I'm saying, sharing that story is that you're asking, how did this come about? So wherever I go, right, I want to know where's the business for me here? There must be a business for me. All right. Business is solving problem, right? Creating value and making money. So there must be a business here. You cannot tell me everything is sorted. Even God that created the whole world had problem that he needed a man to come and solve. So there must be a problem here, right? So that is how I think and that is how I see things. And getting to the UK, I saw a lot of problems that people were not seeing. During my 9 shift, I love studying. I read a lot. I make research, and I look at simple things. I try to make it complex to bring problem and solve it there, right? So I saw that, okay, if I'm coming in now, the same way I got in, they now announced about care worker visas. I love breaking down issues, right? So if they've announced this, that this is what the government wants, what would trigger this, issue, this when they've now, what would now bring the opportunities here? And I found out that every one of those Africans coming, we need training the same way I did it, right? I started from an agency. Nobody want to take me direct. I started from an agency. I went to do my training. I got my shift, right? And inside of my shift, my agency was collecting money from me. So I said, okay, that is the same step I will take, right? I structured my business. I went to partner with training providers. I have my own business that sends people out to go and train, and I started an agency. I don't have contracts, but I know I have some consultants I've worked with. So I always call them, look, the same way you give me this job, I have a friend, I have this one. So they are happy to give those contracts, those jobs. And as they give, I get at least £1, 50p per hour from those other people. So that is how I started. So yeah. Lami, good evening.
You know what I like about what you're saying? Sometimes we make this thing too complicated. We overcomplicate it and we forget that the name that it is called value. It's called problem you're solving, ability to see it. And for me, don't mind me in between, I go they chip in something so that people can see what you did not say in between. Even though you are in that system, for instance, you started about that sand system, you were not just focusing and fixating your eyes on just packing sand alone. Because your eye and the way you think is already looking at what is the value in this thing, you were able to spot a same aboki man that many people that came there before you would have seen that aboki man. But all they are seeing is at the end of the day, I'll collect the money for my shift. I go house, tell Mama Sikira that the amount what I make today because when they go tomorrow again, up to the next one. But that means there's a way you have to see. And that's what I'm saying. You must see in problem. You must see in there is a demand. I say this a lot. I say in every industry, there is a value chain. And money keeps flowing as you go up. So you still how you could move from just packing sand to packing bag. And it's amazing how from that just selling bag, you could buy a car. Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much, my brother. That's inspiring. I believe that one is telling somebody to start seeing different. They go your care shift every day. You are going to your care work. You are going to your warehouse business every day. You are going to your city center every day. What are you seeing? What are you seeing? It matters a lot. I want to ask a question. You are in some of your content, you have spoken about 4 types of business. And you said this. I usually speak about one, but I want you to elaborate on the others. You talked about business out from your passion, business out from your privilege, business out from your problem, and business out from your opportunity. See, I don't do my assignment. So we talk about business out of your passion, business out of your opportunities, your privilege, and business out of your problem. So how can you help somebody to identify businesses out of these 4 things? Or what do I need to look for? Or just help us share more light into this. Thank you.
Those statements are self-explanatory. They are very clear. So business, the thing people don't look at is everywhere you find yourself, you are privileged to be there. I don't just think things happen for no reason, right? If I will analyze my next 10 years for you, all things being equal, I know I can never be poor. I can never go broke. Do you know why? It's a privilege to be in the UK, right? It's a privilege to be able to access the world right now. So why do you think I'll be broke when I know I can connect 2 worlds together, right? Why do you think, I can connect things now, right? So it's a privilege. For example, I have access, and access is money. So if I'm looking at the business of my privilege, I have access to China, I have access to Hong Kong, I have access to Indonesia, name it. I have access now. Where you cannot go, I can go. You don't need to go there anymore. Pay me, let me take you there. Not taking you there literally, but taking you there by experience, right? You can leverage on my experience. So that's the business of privilege. Being in the UK, there's a lot of people that have come to me, Henry, let's partner. I'm in Nigeria, but let's partner and let's do XYZ because I cannot come to the UK. And I now decide to choose, do I want to even work with this one or not, right? So that is the thing. That's business of your privilege. You are in healthcare, my God. You only see shifts. That is why you cannot see the privilege. Do you know what it takes or what it means for you to have access to answers that people crave for? You have access to consultants, right? You have access to consultants. You have access to nurses. You have access to duty discharge lounge and the rest. So these are things, okay, what can I then do? What are the system can I learn in this? For example, me and my wife were just discussing yesterday. Do you know in Nigeria, there's no like palliative care? There is no end of life care. There is no like where you have hospice where people that are they are dying, they can go have a peaceful one before they go, right? And you are here in the UK, you've learned that system. Education is where it starts from, right? Educating people. Look, your loved ones, you don't need to spend. People are in dialysis or people are still having chemo when they know that this is not working anymore. Why spend all that money when you know this one is not, there's no remedy to it? Can we create a space where this person can have a peaceful one? That education part of things will be hard, but people that have lived abroad, which right now the awareness is almost everywhere, many people will just say, Papa has tried. We have tried. Let's give him a peaceful one so he can go. All right. So I'm just Tony, I'm just only using that as an example, right?
My brother, please. One thing I do in my live stream, I avoid the comment section so that it doesn't distract a flow of thoughts. There will be time for question and answer if we want to do questions. If not, we'll respond to everything we see here today. Trust me.
All right. So that's the business of privilege, right? Privilege to have access into a particular industry. You want to also look at it from someone that have got experience in logistics. I was also sharing recently, there is a big opportunity in cold chain delivery. A lot of businesses are closing down online sales because they cannot have that last mile delivery for frozen food. The other delivery company that does it, they can throw your goods away because they are not obligated to, that's not what they are specialized in. But look, if someone can come and fill that gap, that's a novice cannot, I know. So a novice cannot just come and fill that gap, right? It takes someone that have been in the industry to be able to identify that and tell you, look, this is how we are going to approach it, and this is how we are going to fill the gap. So things like that, right? So things like that. The business of your, privilege to be in somewhere, the business of your problem. Every problem you're going through today is not just for you. It is common to man, right? Everything you're going through, it is common to someone else somewhere. You can look forward to, solve the problem that you're going through for someone else. I used to say, if you don't change your community can easily become your principality. And how can you change your community? It is until you are out of there. All right. If not, you'll be competing for best losers. So changing community can be, look, I have gone through this, I have succeeded, and now I am building a community to pass back to them what I have learned from this experience. All right. Then the business of your passion. Some people are very passionate about something, but they don't know how to set up a business around there. Now, I may be passionate about marketing. Someone else may have their business, but my passion can help you scale your own business. All right. You may be passionate about, making hair. You may be passionate about what you love, whether Jide, for example, if anyone come here and insults you when you're talking about finance, I'm very sure you won't listen. Oh, Jide, you are not having beers on your chin now. Can you go away from here? You talk too much about money. It wouldn't mean anything to you because what are you talking about? This is what I sleep and wake up every day. It's what I love to do. All right. No matter what you do, I will continue. And again, life always reward you when you are consistent on something. Reality will just bend one way or the other to say, no, you've paid your dues here. You've knocked on even the gates enough. Let's reward you. So that's how it happens. So the business of your passion, the business of your privilege, the business of your problem, the business of your leverage, access. And I always talk about, if I tell you about the business of leverage or business of access, Nehemiah is a very good example. All right. He built the walls of Jerusalem, right, in 52 days. But nobody talks about how he did it. We all know he is a cupbearer. But cupbearers, right, have access. Nobody would have been able to ask the king what he asked the king. But if he was not a cupbearer, he would have not gotten that access. So every time you have access to something, there's a business there for you.
I've forgotten I was muted. Thank you so much, Mr. Aaron. I'm happy you are helping people to see that the only thing you should not focus on from a business perspective is your passion. You can look at your problem. For instance, I used an example yesterday. You were able to raise 4 children as a single mom and you did it successfully. Do you know there are several single moms that are coming behind you that will go through that same pain of that thing you call problem? Do you know you can create a system, either a book, a coaching, a mentoring system to show them how to successfully do it? So one thing I think everybody should go with what we are saying right now is business is embedded in problem. Actually, business, the reason why we have a business is because there's a problem to solve. If there is no problem, we can't talk about business. So people should start seeing problem in a different light. Many people run away from problem, not knowing that within that problem, most of the time is what will feed you. And some of us, like I said, he said something about a business of privilege. The connection between Lagos and UK. Do you know what is flowing every day through shipping, through container, through airline, every day, to and fro? Why? Because there are certain set of immigrants in the UK that will require something that comes from Nigeria. So it's the ability to see this problem and see it differently so that you can make use of it. Thank you so much. There's something you used to say in your content a lot. It's about the health sector. I don't know, maybe because you are a nurse, I don't know. But you usually help and you want people, especially immigrants, to see what they are yet to do, especially those who are carer or in the health sector, beyond just a job, but to see it as opportunity. Why are you usually, I feel you are biased, why are you so passionate about that area?
You mean the healthcare?
Yes.
I will be throwing a little bit of psychology into this. I talk most times. I studied a little bit about psychology, so most times, tell me one thing that there's so much emotions attached to it, and I'll tell you where you cannot stop making money. Tell me one thing that you have a lot of emotions attached to it. If a man have billions today, and you tell him his health is breaking down, he can give you anything to have more. There's a lot of, there's a lot of emotions attached there. And in the UK, yeah, finance is also high there as well. Finance is high. I can go on and on and on and on and tell you. For example, someone is listening to me. This, God help me, they don't take this out of context. I've been wanting to make a content around it, but I'm very careful. I'm very careful. God help me. God help me. Let me present this to you. Oh Lord, have mercy. There is something that I'm very careful about this. We see everywhere on the social media. Our people carry it up and down and talk about it. It's divorce. There's a big market there for you. I'm sorry, that is why I'm saying I'm very careful. Many people don't know how much divorce lawyers eat in this country. And it can drag for years. I told you a little bit of psychology will be on this. It's a pandemic. You didn't cause it, but there's a way to position there. You're not praying for it, but even the best mortuary, even the best hospital have mortuary. So people look at some kind of things and walk away. Who are the field player behind this thing? If the states, if the country benefits from something, they are the one powering that thing. If you play behind the scene, you cannot stop making money. The country that you find yourself, this sector I'm talking about right now, the system powers it. The system empowers it. Do you know why? It benefits the system economically. If a couple is together, the country is structured in a way to trap you, to keep on servicing the economy. Partnership within families does not benefit them. It helps you guys to build wealth. Splitting of the family benefits them. It helps them to scatter your finance. You must continue servicing the system. But who are the people playing behind the scene? That they are not the one empowering it, but they are just the one that helps to comply. Those are those lawyers, those practitioners there. They are quiet. They are just behind the scene. I'm very careful in touching this topic. I can tell you a lot about many sectors. It is hidden. It is subtle. But that is where wealth lies. Ask anyone that have gone through any divorce matter before. They'll tell you that one sitting can cost up to over £1,000. They are not sitting for even up to 1 hour. But you must need someone to represent you. The both parties. And the government powers this sector. I have showed you how it supports the system. So the system will power it. Let's go over. Let me not touch it. There are some deep things, my brother.
Let the spirit lead. Let the spirit lead. You are muted. You are muted.
Zion, my
Let the
brother.
spirit lead.
Zion, my brother.
Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it
Let's
flow,
go
my
over to
brother.
where Zion is. Let's go over to where Zion is. Oh, food safety, good evening. You were talking about health care. Have you ever thought of children care? Have you ever talked about the value chains that are in child care? For example, there is something called an advocate for children. What does it take to become an advocate for children? But when there is dispute, when social service is involved in the family, an advocate is involved. When child support is being negotiated, an advocate is involved. There are deep things. Go to any city that have low, cost of living, that's mostly dominated by blacks. Ask yourself, what kind of business makes so much money here? They'll tell you it's childcare, a child-supported living kind of. Do you know why? A lot of children will be thrown into care. Who powers it? Who supports it? Anything that the government supports, anything that the government powers, if you are in the field player behind the scene, you can never go out of money. We can go on and on. I can tell you some deeper ones, but let's leave it here. So talking about healthcare, the reason why I went this deep, anything that have emotions attached to it, high emotions, yes, there's money there. Ask yourself, why do you think in care homes, the children of those inside the care homes are very agitated? They shout, they try to control the staffs. Why do you think that is happening? Guilt emotions. If I cannot take care of my own, if someone else is taking care of them, how do I show I care? I must bully someone to show at least I'm doing something. Have you thought of that? Oh, my mom have not eaten. Oh, you've not shaved my mom beers. Oh, why did you do this? Nah, emotions is playing. If I cannot take care of my own, I will bully someone to show at least I care. That's a form of showing that you care, but it's not the right way. So when emotion is high like that, if NHS was not taking care of this, people will pay for healthcare high, very high. So anything you do around healthcare, because it's a field where emotions are high, people will pay. So when I always talk about healthcare, I know the kind of money that is there. And the people that makes this money are not the field players. They're the people that operate the system. They're the people that operate the system. The UK is deeper than what you can understand. Yeah.
Thank you so much. One thing I try to do on this platform is I don't hold back. Anything I know will help people to see, I try to make sure I keep saying it. I don't care what anybody will say about me, but as long as I'm doing the Lord's work, that's how I see it. Thank you so much, brother. Guys, there are two things he said there which I want us to pay attention to, even though we're talking about healthcare. He said any business that has emotions attached to it. That's number one. Number two, any business that the government is invested into it, like the government is putting so much into it. Guys, those two things, pay attention to it. So Mr. Henry is telling me that I might have started as an HCA. Can I start looking at what are the business opportunities within that space, so that I don't just stay as an HCA for 5 years and after ILR I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life? Within that space, can I see opportunity? I tell people now, do you know the amount of PPE that you guys use on a daily basis in the care industry? Do you know somebody is supplying it? The person will never take care of one person, will never have any opportunity of anybody rubbishing him in the street saying, you did not brush my hair, the hair of my mom very well. But that guy is making crazy. I know how many pack my wife usually puts in her car on a daily basis. So for us is to look within the industry where you are and see it beyond just a job, and allow God, I like using the word God here now, allow God to open your eyes so that you can see the opportunities that are there. I like using the story of Jacob, for instance. He came into, and I call UK our own Laban. You know, we came in, they told us that we'll work for 5 years. After 5 years, you will get this out of it. You understand? That's the same thing they told Jacob. Now, after 7 years, they will give you wife. Oh, within 7 years, what did Oga do? Oga changed the goalpost again. That's the same way they are telling us that immigration rule is going to change to 10 years. Jacob could have sat back there and said, what is all this rubbish? Is this how my life will be, stranded and blah, blah, blah? But in between, he saw opportunity because of the way he's seeing. And that is very key for us, especially as immigrants. If we keep waiting for the system to hand over things to us, it go there as if we know Sabi, just because of where we are looking. See, when this guy, Jacob, they leave Laban, he came as one man. He said when he was living as a band. Why? Because of the wisdom that God gives. So I keep praying, and this is one prayer I pray, and they pray, God, the eyes that sees, the ability to see opportunity where everybody is seeing challenge. Like he said something that God brought you into that space. It's not a mistake. Within that space are opportunities that can change your life forever. Yes, COS is important, but please see beyond COS. Very key. Mr. Henry, I want to shift the topic a little bit. It's like you don't go deep conversation now. And people like us who will just they start, go carry us go where we don't know. Don't mind me, I'm just pulling your leg. I want to ask something. You've been a business consultant. You've dealt with several people, especially people of our color as well, and foreigners. What is that common mistake you have seen immigrants make again and again when they are trying to start a business?
I think this will take me to my topic of the night. This is now poised for the topic of the night. The mistake is they overestimate their starting point and underestimate the finish line. Right? That's number one. What do I mean by that? Someone is just trying to start a business and they're telling you, can I make 10,000 a month in the next 6 months? That is overestimating where you're starting from. That 10,000 a month in the next 6 months, you are underestimating the next 6 months, because the next 6 months can be even a 2 million. The next 2 years can be even 100 million. There is no ceiling. Why are you putting a cap from the beginning to something you have not seen? So that's you underestimating where you're going to. But when you are starting, don't overestimate it. All right? Don't overestimate it. And people don't go into business for the purpose of business. They go for other reasons. And I have seen it gets me worried, even to a point I've stopped giving ideas to people in consultation, because people abuse ideas, right? So number one is audacity to start. All these, I'm scared, it's scared of success, because it's only two ways it can go. You can learn or you succeed, any which way. So all this, you are scared and scared and scared. You see, one of the greatest battles people fight as immigrants is the battle of permission. The battle of permission. Who will allow me? Who will give me this permission? Who will give me the opportunity? Who knows me? That is one of the highest battles. But if you can, overcome that battle of permission, you don't need to feel accepted first. You don't need to feel qualified. You just need to, put one step forward. You can only connect the line, backward. You cannot connect it forward. So having the audacity to to really start, to say, okay, this is what I want. This is where I want to go to. And this is how I'm going to get there. Another thing people fail to do, which is also requires audacity. Someone defined the future like this. He said the future is the moment in time you write down something and get it. So you've written it down. It's no longer in your future, right? That moment in time you've written it down, it becomes your past. So the result becomes your future. So people want to achieve something. They don't even know what they want to achieve. Someone coming in a consultation is asking you for cleaning business, is also a recruiting agency, is also. What do you want? Write it down and start now having clarity. Okay, I want a care business, but I will start from a recruiting agency. So this is what I will start with. These are my policies. Now you now focus on this one and keep going. So you don't feel qualified first. You just understand what you're going to. Now, again, someone, I've defined audacity as the courage to move before everything is perfect. If you're not a Christian, I'm sorry, but I'll take you to the Bible. Remember the children of Israelite about to cross, right? The Red Sea, right? What then happened? The Lord shall fight for you, and you shall hold your peace, right? Was the first statement. But there was a command. Tell the people to go forward. I thought you just said the Lord shall fight for me, and I shall hold my peace. But there is a command. For that, you tell the people to go forward. So the courage to move before everything is perfect. I will fight for you. As you are going, don't worry. But if you don't move, I don't fight. All right? Even a conqueror needs to show up. Conquerors are the ones that don't even fight, though. I hope you know. They're the ones that are more than conqueror. Conquerors fight, but more than conquerors don't even, they get to battlefield and everything is sorted out. But they need to get to battlefield. If you're not in the battlefield, you cannot say you are more than a conqueror or you're even a conqueror. So who are your opponents then? So you must get out there. The boldness to believe something bigger is possible. Don't underestimate the future. Don't overestimate the starting point. Just start. Mere starting. The future is bigger. Believe on it and start going. The refusal to let fear become your prison. Prisons that are most dangerous are the ones that you cannot see. If I see that something is holding me back, I can break through and come away from it. But if I cannot see that something is holding me back, I'll remain there because I feel all things are equal and everything is okay. But audacity is not ignorance. Audacity is not just ignorance. After the Saturday prayer we did on my platform, I sat down on this chair and I kept on thinking, Henry, have you done the right thing? I reminisce a lot. And I said, may we not do things that will let people substitute hard work for faith. Because even faith is work. I say, I hope we have not ended up doing something that will make people so, because Africans, we love delegating responsibilities. So if you delegate laziness, it's on you. Yes, we will pray, but don't substitute hard work, right, for prayer. Whatever you're supposed to get on the altar of prayer, you cannot substitute it with hard work. And whatever you're supposed to get in hard work, you cannot substitute it for prayer. So audacity is not ignorance. Audacity is not ignorance. You see, we have taught several times that the UK system does not only reward talents. Talent is good, and that's one of the things they fight a lot. Me and Zion, we always talk about this. That is one of the things they are totally against. But they reward work. They reward work, strategic work. But what do most of Africans, what we do, immigrants, right? We just come, we work, we try to survive, we complain, we analyze things, over-analyzing. It's the same pattern. We postpone things for next year, we overthink. Sir, I have seen people in this country that have come under me that have blown my mind. They've done things that me, myself, was not all that I told them. But because they have the audacity to start. Who would have thought that Oreb Limited that started, we were hearing that statistics is that first 1 year of a company, 20% of them fall off, the remaining 3 years, 80%, and only few. I think Oreb Limited is among that few now that is going, because we are 5 years this year. Who would have thought that Oreb Limited in the first year that was jumping here and there, struggling, but the audacity to start. We didn't know what we are building, but we know we are building. And clarity begin to show. Okay, no, we won't go this way. You will go this way. You will walk this way. You will meet this one. We'll meet that one. Went to conferences. Even now, we are now going to trade shows. We are now hosting our own things like that. We would have never gotten this level if we didn't take that first step. Register the business. Have the business bank account. 7 months into this country, what do I know? Right? But I've started something. And before you know, 10 months into this country, business already registered as a birthday gift to me. Bank account open. Let's just start something. The more you are scared of making mistake, the more mistake you make. Fear have cost me more than audacity have cost me. Fear have cost me more in this country than audacity have cost me. So the more you are scared, oh, let me not make mistake, let me not do this, everything, is the more mistake you make. Let's start small. Let's start small. Have the audacity to start small. We improve gradually every day. We don't scale totally, we scale over time. We don't scale immediately, we scale over time, little by little. I will show you some example to drive my point. You see, Peter is a very good example. Jide, I know your audience is missed, but if anyone have come to my live, I always use scriptural references. If you look at if you look at the life of Peter, right? Peter walked through water, but there's something that happened. When he was called to come, he refused initially, but when he later went out, there's something he didn't look, the storm. There are other people in that boat, but it was only Peter that stepped out with audacity. Others were, still analyzing the whole situation. There is a storm, there is water. How can you tell me to walk in the water? But something you have to take out from this. There is no way you can walk on waters if you are afraid to step in. There is no way. Whoever have built something that lasts is stepping on water. Because you know why? You don't know what is on that side of it. You would have sink. It is possible to sink. And guess what? There will always be storm. If you are waiting for calm water, you will never walk. You cannot get the full certainty of what is going to happen in business. And there's nothing like guaranteed success. You walk out your success, just like salvation. You walk it out. If you look at the life of David, facing Goliath was audacity. But Audacity sometimes announce you. If he never fought Goliath, who would have known him? But in one day facing Goliath, they say he has killed 10,000. But the man that have been in battlefield, that was scared on the day of Goliath, they say he has killed 1,000. Why? The difference was Audacity. Audacity can multiply your results real quick. But remember, Audacity is not ignorance. I will touch on that. The market always rewards those that see opportunities where others see fear. Oh, when we came in, don't go that way. The taxman will be after you. Sometimes I sit down and I wonder, what is this thing they were even talking about? Oh, don't buy property before you know it now. Insurance, so if the thing something breaks, something spoil. And I'm like, what is this thing they're even talking about? If you look at the life of the 4 leopards, this one is the typical condition of most people in the UK. If we stay, we will die. If we go, we will die. But we are better dead going than dead staying. Because you know why? Any which way, something will happen. But it is better we are on the move. Right? So that if anything happens while we are on the move, we didn't just perish sitting down. If they remain where they are, the death is sure. That one is sure because it is just there they will be. But if they move, it is probability. It is either they are rescued or it is either they die fighting. But guess what? While they were moving, did you notice what happened there? These are people that could not, that they are lepers, but their feet were like chariots coming. My mentor will always say, battle is seed for territory, and business is a territorial game. So if you're not ready to put in the battle, let your feet be sounding like chariots. You never know what's on the other side. Be ready to put in the fight. What you need, many other people need it. People that are not doing it, it's not that they don't have potential. No, they have potential, but they are failing because they refuse to move. They are not moving. That's why it looks like they are failing. I can tell you, Jide, many people that knows what they are doing are still second guessing themselves. In fact, they are well able. They are well able. Certificate, they have it. Fine face, they have it. Camera phone, they have it. Every other thing, they have it. But they are not ready to take steps. The woman with the issue of blood. I have gone to number 4 example. Peter, David, the leper, the lepers, the 4 lepers, then the woman with the issue of blood. If you look at her statement, right? She said, if I may touch but his clothes, how will you touch without movement when he is moving? And the he in this our time, or in this my statement, is time. How will you touch him when he is moving? But the he in this context is time. Time is human being. I have analyzed it several times. Time is a man, is a moving man. Oh, that is why sometimes me and you sit down and say, time don't go. Where did it go? He has moved. Time is a healer. But it does not just heal on its own. Time is your ally. Time is your business partner. Someone I was counseling someone recently, and I said, look, even God works with time for you to fulfill destiny. Some people end up old today without any mark in life because the time frame that they would have used to achieve it, they did not. And now don't give me that statement to say, oh, there are people that made it in their 50s, there are people that made it in their 60s. I understand, but there are things they did while they were young that helped them to be able to do it in their old age, because it is scriptural. In Deuteronomy, you see, at 19, you should be able to go to war, right? At 25, you should do it. It works with time. At so and so time, at so and so time, at so and so time. If you miss any of that in your own context, it is gone. So she moved through resistance only to do what? To go and touch it. All the limitations notwithstanding. You see, If you look at what she did, she pushed through fear, breaking mental barriers, and people, what will people say? She broke all through that and went to touch him. If we must break through all this, we must be able to work with time. 5 years gone can never be gotten again. Money lost today can be multiplied tomorrow. We must be able to move through time to touch him. He is moving. He is moving. And finally, Nehemiah. I love the story of Nehemiah. Many people did not see that Nehemiah's story is a business story. When I read the book of Nehemiah, I said, this is business here. This is business. This man was being trained in his job. It is a miracle. He became a governor from cupbearer. He was the right and the perfect person. Proximity is powerful. Someone that have learned how to rule, someone that have seen kingly conversation, someone that have seen how to give judgment, someone that have been in the elder stake meeting happening. Why will he not be able to rule? Because he has learned by observation, and which is the best form of learning. So even what he asked the king, it was audacity. You see, many people have proximity to what they want, the business and everything they want to start, but the audacity to open your mouth is the problem. Will they listen to me? If you look at it, why are people not making health content? Do you know what you can build out of it? The UK have prided themselves as the best in healthcare in the world. That is a platform you can ride on. Why are people not focusing on using the leverage? I am here in the UK. I have worked in the NHS that have a good reputation and deliver health content. From there, do you know what you're connecting? Third world countries that don't have access to the NHS but have access to the information with the NHS that you have. That is the business of your privilege. That's the business of your privilege. Permission to start what you want to do. This is the reason why many people are still stuck. The permission. Say, no, I don't have the resource. Someone is doing. The room is still big for everyone to do. I can guarantee you there are many people that have not even seen that person's content. Now, if we don't ask boldly, we never receive it. If you look at what Nehemiah did, he asked boldly. And because he already knew what he wanted, so his request was very straightforward. Let's kill fear. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment. If you're not ready to be embarrassed, you cannot make it in this time and age. You cannot make it. You're ready to be embarrassed. Criticism will always be there. I have seen people, if Kistama can be criticized, if the Bible have critics, if the pyramid have critics, who are you? Nothing can be perfect because we all see from different lens, right? Don't wait for permission. Let's not wait for permission. And don't let our culture condition us. Let's keep going. Comparison is a killer of joy. I can tell you for free. I can tell you something for free. You see this person that said, I'm looking for the person. Someone made a comment here saying, where is it? Someone made a comment saying,
is it your Sound City, right?
No. That someone is doing it already.
Oh, yes. It's somewhere there, yeah.
Yes. Someone said, Mason said someone is doing it already. All right. Someone said someone is doing it already. The reason why that person said that is comparison. I can tell you for free, straight up. In his mind, he may not know. Don't get me twisted. He may not know. But the fact that someone is doing something already does not mean or does not cancel the fact that that thing is still okay for you to do. So when you see social media, someone is already in a space and the rest, that is what they are doing, right? That is what they are doing. You start something else around that very field. There are so many finance content creators in the UK, across the world. But at this time, over 200 people are listening to this one that we can see. We are not talking about the ones on the FYP. Again, building personal brand. Building personal brand. And also, many people cannot even identify themselves. Many people cannot identify themselves. If you're able to identify themselves, there's a book I read recently. It said the most important thing to regulate in your life is yourself. If you can regulate yourself, you can control external forces. So let's understand our identity. Start before we feel ready. Let's start before we feel ready. Readiness will always come after you move. All right? Not before, after you move. Let's start small, but think big. Let's start small and think big. Use what is in your hands. Use what is in your hands. Moses, go and liberate the children of Israelites. I am not well able. What is in your hands? We look everywhere else without what is in our hands. We look everywhere else without what is inside us. So let's start with what is in our hands, what we have already, right? When we pray for something that we already have already, God is just looking at us and say, what is this one doing? Everything is ready. I've given you everything. And there are things that people don't know that that's something that they can use. I keep on saying to people, if whatever you are doing right now is not among your retirement plan, you don't have a retirement plan, because money is not a retirement plan. If whatever you're doing as a career is not among your retirement plan, then you don't have a retirement plan. If it is the money or the pension you're thinking is your retirement plan, you don't have a retirement plan. Your experience in any field should also be part of your assets for retirement. You shouldn't work in a sector or in a job that you don't like, and after you retire, you cannot make a business out of it. It shouldn't be. You spent one of your most valuable assets to gain that. You should not just throw it away. Whatever you're spending your time right now to get and you cannot use in the future, you are like a man that have gone to use their own money to buy what they don't need. So think about it. As we are building, let us keep learning. Again, expect resistance. Expect resistance. David, it was from his father's house, his brothers. You have come to insult us. You have come to humiliate us. This little boy, what are you doing here? Are you not supposed to be looking after the farm and the rest? He was the one to kill Goliath. But there was resistance. Nehemiah, he was building and he was holding sword in his hands. There will always be resistance. The woman with the issue of blood going to, oh, who is this woman? Stop that. What are you doing? There will always be resistance. Always there will be resistance. Expect it. Expect it. As we grow, let's build system. Let's not just hustle. Let's think long term. And there are hidden opportunities in problem. There are hidden opportunities in problem. Every time you create a solution for something, you've created another problem. The UK is so organized, so there's nothing there for you, is a lie. Even in compliance, there's a problem. Oh, I was talking to food safety today, and we're talking about systems, compliance, and the rest. In any business where there is high compliance, there is high money to be made. And you can either be in the compliance side or you can be the field player. You choose one. Either you're operating the system or you are those with the compliance, you make money. Audacity. Audacity. Leaving your country to travel abroad is the biggest audacity you have taken. The rest, you are the one holding yourself. Leaving your known to the unknown is the biggest audacity. Who told you can come here and just make it? Who told you can even come and get a job? So if you've done the biggest, every other thing is just, false evidence appearing to be real. Right? You've handled the big things. So don't let that hold you. Keep going. You've left Africa, left anywhere you find yourself, and you're here in the UK. Don't stop there. Keep going. Thank you. Thank you, Jide. Thank you.
Thank you. I was almost saying apostle. You're actually apostle in the business place. Guys, I want to say something. We are not done yet. Oh. I want to say something to us that there is nothing in life that you are celebrating today that started perfectly. Nothing in life. Anything you see today that you are celebrating, none of them ever started perfectly. And I use this principle. I am here in the Wirral, close to Liverpool, and I want to drive to Scotland, and it's a little bit dark in the night. The easiest way to deny myself getting to Scotland is to wait until I can see between where I am and Scotland clearly before I move. And that's the same principle in which the headlamp of the light of a car was designed. It's meant to show you the first 200 meters ahead of you. Before you get to that 200 meters, you see another 200 meters. Before you know, you're already in Scotland. So if you keep waiting until when things are perfect, or you keep waiting until when things are good, and I say this why? Because many of you came from Nigeria with passion, some with privilege, some with opportunity, some with pain, that people are in demand for here in the UK. But you are saying the reason why we never start, I can't start this is because of this. The reason why I cannot start. So you have 155 ways in which it will not work. But I'm saying, can't you see that that thing is limiting you, even though there is something in your hand that can feed you? Mr. Henry said something, and I'm trying to do it. I like creating methodologies out of things. Number one, discover that thing that there is need for. Number one. Number two, have the audacity to start. Don't start perfect. And by extension, it means be willing to start small. When I talk to people and they say they want to start business, and they are saying the reason why they cannot start is because of capital. I ask how much is the capital. They say they need about 100,000 pounds. I say, what's the smaller version of that big thing that you are talking about? There's always a smaller version of what you want to start big. Start small for two reasons. Number one, you learn around the rope. You have little or less pain. I say it's easy to lose 2,000 pounds than to lose 20,000 pounds. Why? Because it comes with a bigger pain. So start small. Look at everything we are ever doing. For anybody you see doing anything in the UK, they had to start small. Some even started with 200 pounds that they had to borrow. Some started with things that they didn't, but they started with what they know that there is something inside me that can create value for this problem. Another thing is give room for growth. I don't know, maybe because we're in a desperate situation, we need ILR, we need to settle down. Give room for growth. I keep saying it, anything that grows quick is difficult for it to last long. But there's room, there's process. In the course of solving one problem, you see another opportunity, you grow in it. Very important. He says something, he says, carry your business on your head. Guys, if there's anything we must be proud of, and you have to do it very well, is to carry your business on your head. Because in that thing is what will feed you. In that thing is what will take care of many of the problems that you currently have. I keep saying that many of us, we don't have money problem, but we have this audacity problem. The ability to stand up. And you know the shocking thing, Mr. Henry, those that are doing it, sometimes they are not more intelligent than those who have it. They are not. They are just the ones who are courageous enough to start and say, we will start. Let us start this thing. Oh, in this place, I discover how this will not work, so I can do this the other way. I discover how this will not work. Mr. Henry, before I leave this particular topic and move to the next one, you said something about starting, but also understanding that audacity is not ignorance, but you could not talk about it. Can you share a little light on that so that people can have a balance to what we are?
Yes. Sometimes some people think having audacity is just to jump into anything and anyhow. I will tell you this. There are some things, for example, let me use my own self as example, right? Having audacity to start to talk about business and the rest. But then again, if you look at the kind of business I talk about and the kind of people I talk to and the people that come to me, if I wasn't knowledgeable to know the boundaries, I would have maybe been in very big trouble. For example, there was a day, my last live session, someone came up to ask me about something about their immigration. And I'm like, look, I'm not within that jurisdiction to answer you that question. He said there to me that he wants me to tell him. I said, no, it's not for me to tell you this. I know it, but I cannot tell you. Yes, I have audacity to have started the business. Yes, I have audacity to, make research, connect with people, give advice, and I want to help. But if I am doing it out of ignorance, danger is just by the corner. Trouble is there. So understand your limits, understand your boundaries. We are saying have audacity right now. We are not saying. I've seen some people. They say they have audacity. They want to, do this. They want to do that. But your age will not allow you to do that. So if you have audacity, but you're not considering the limiting factors around you, or how you can make it happen, are in the confine of how. Don't just listen to generic advice. Advice are good, but it is best when it is applicable in your own context. For example, if you want to, if you look at what you do here right now, you have audacity to start, but I can guarantee you, you know your boundaries. You know, okay, no, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I cannot. So, know your boundaries. While you have the audacity to start, know what you can do, know what you are permitted to do, know what you are allowed to do, and know how you can go about doing it. So the ones that you cannot do, know how to delegate it. Know how to pass it over to those that are within the jurisdiction to do it. All right? So audacity is good. We may be talking here, oh, start a business, do this and that, and you're listening to us, but you cannot go and do some certain kind of business because of the kind of immigration visa that you are on. You don't say, oh, because they say have audacity, then you jump in now and start doing what you're not supposed to do. So yes, the advice is good, start a business, but in my own context, how do I? How does it apply to me? Oh, we're talking about it is good to hustle to as an immigrant, as you come, start working, make money and the rest. And you see the fact, or you are hearing that night shift pays more, and you yourself, let's say you're already 55, and high blood pressure is there already. Then you jump into night shift. Yes, you have the audacity to do what they're saying, but at the end of the day, your circumstances does not allow. So you now ask, how do I implement this the way it will suit my own circumstance? So that's it. Yes, audacity is good, but audacity is not ignorance. You don't become audacious in ignorance. No, you must know, how does this, within the confine of what I am permitted to do. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aaron. Thank you. So guys, what we are hearing now is audacity is not a jump in the dark. It's taking deliberate, calculated step with information. So let's call it informed audacity. So I have the audacity. I don't stop at audacity. I sit down and I ask myself, okay, what does it take, or what does it require to start? Now, he's talking about this part, which is very important because of where you are in the UK. It's different from Nigeria. But at the same time, you must understand that there's a thin line between these two things. The same thing you are seeing as limitation, somebody else in that same condition, because of some relatively tweak in what is available around that person, can also still help that person do that same thing. So I'm saying that why? Because I've also seen people hide under, in quotes, all these things we are saying, caution and caution and caution. So they've analyzed they've paralyzed everything. And for me, this is why sometimes I move close to those who have done it before, or who are doing it, and ask, what are the red tape? Okay, I have this particular condition. How can I work around it? Oh, you have a dependent. Your dependent can be this. Why you do not become this? It's different from the other person who just say, me, I'm not doing anything because of this. So because of that, I'm ready to belabor my 5 years, my 10 years of my life until I get ILR. So we must find that balance in understanding that, in as much as we're talking audacity, but make sure it's an informed, audacious statement or step that you are taking, so that it's not just a jump in the dark. Thank you so much, Mr. Henry, for that. Mr. Henry, you shared something on your status. I think it's on your status or on your live stream once, and that thing has set me thinking for a while. And like I said, I would like you to share something about it. It has to do with property, especially buy to let. You are laughing already. I said there will be an opportunity for me to put you in front of people. I don't know, it's 200 people that will be there this time and hear this statement. And this also links back to Audacity. And to be very frank, you said something about many a times people wait until things are perfect to start or to get things done. And you shared your own story that day, that now you had a property that you bought, you were able to remortgage it or refinance it, and what you pulled out of it is 70,000 pounds thereabouts. Guys, do you know what you can do with 70,000 pounds? That could actually move you to your next level in life. But many of us will hear this 70, but we should also pay attention to the audacious steps that was taken. If I am correct, you mentioned the fact that the money you used to secure that thing was not like you had the money in your hand. You know, you had to use a system that you have created. I'm saying many things. You have to use a system, to move into that position. But the reason why I'm saying so is, guys, dreams are beautiful. But there are many bigger things you can do when money starts flowing in some capacity. You can bring reality to your dream. But between that time and where you are now, especially for immigrants that are saying that, I'm trying to stabilize my income, I'm trying to do this, do that. How can we log into opportunities like this? It doesn't have to be real estate. Yours also just happen to be property. How can people log into opportunities like that without waiting for the perfect time to do it?
Thank you. I will not fail to say this, and I'm looking for a perfect time to make a video around this. In as much as we encourage people, I have seen someone made a very huge mistake. Don't be so desperate to do things. Someone say, if you rush, you end up in horror. If you hurry, you end up in horror. Somebody went to go into partnership with 4 other people for real estate deal without knowing them. We are over 200 here. I would like to say this. I don't focus on Twitter or any of this platform. I don't spend much time, right, following all these things. But I heard that now people now merge people together to go into real estate. I beg you, if you're listening to me, be careful. You see, if you go and check my, credit record right now, there's a name you will see there. The reason why you see that name is because me and that person, we are financial partners. And that person is my wife. Right? Because we bought properties together. Now, if anything happens to our credit, it can easily happen to me. God forbid she is now found wanting for fraud or something in the future. It can easily link back to me because of why we are financial partners. I would say, as we are talking about property and investment and the rest, I deem it fit to say this here. Be careful the people you go into financial partnership with in the UK. I have seen people not able to even open a bank account for what they don't know, one, they don't know two. They don't know anything, but the bank is blind to that sentimental story we are talking about. The financial system is blind. So if that affects you, your career in the UK is almost like crumbled. Now, what am I saying? Talking about what people can leverage on. You see, many people think it's only by doing business that they can make it in the UK. It's not. You can do it via investing. You can do it via the business we're talking about. We can do it by equity in other people's business. There are different ways you can go into it. I have seen people that actually bought into real care home. If you go to Right Bees and the rest, you see where care homes are selling part of their business. It is legitimate kind of business you can buy. Part of into another business you can buy. If you're on a skilled worker and you're thinking, oh, money is in my hands, I don't know, why are you not investing? Because anything you're putting your money to invest, the government is not saying that is against the law. So investing is one of it. And there are different ways you can invest. The stock market is there. Jide, you agree with me that if I get into the UK today and I know, okay, I cannot start business because of my job, and someone puts their money in the bank account waiting for when they come out from their skilled worker visa, get ILR before they start their job, and someone put that money in the stock market. Jide, money today in the stock market is different from money in 5 years' time in the stock market. It is true, it goes either ways, but there's something that will not cancel it. I'll tell you this. Compound interest will always do its thing. It's like gravity. The money you're putting in the stock market for the next 5 years, yes, the market may be down by the 5 years' time, but if you're still buying more, you're getting more. It is only when you sell, you lose. But if you don't sell off, you keep buying more, you make more. So utilizing the stock market is one thing. Then the real estate space. Buying properties, you have not broken any rule. Buying properties, you have not broken any rule. Leveraging on like people you know between each other, coming together to invest in the real estate space. You have not broken any rule, even if you're on a skilled worker visa. All right? And the credit system is there for us to utilize. The credit system is there. That is why I will always say, protect it like your life depends on it. Because in this part of the world, it's called leverage. It's called leverage, not like the way we understand it in Africa. So yeah, if your question was what are other things that the people can look into, right? The real estate is there, the stock market is there. Even you can invest in real estate through the stock market, which is REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. You know, you can go into leveraging on other people to start up a business, maybe in the care sector. There are different things you can leverage on while you're in the UK. If you're not settled, look into these various instruments.
Thank you so much, Mr. Henry. Even though my question was a little bit deeper, but make a allow and skip because I know you will most likely be saying some things that should not be on air. Thank you so much. Guys, he said something about investment. If it comes to investment, me, I can put my 2 feet and I'll tell you that that's one of the easiest and the quickest way, no matter what you are doing in the UK, that you can use to start growing something in your name. For instance, mine last year was about 36% return in that same year. So that's 36% of doing nothing else than putting my money in a system that works. Guys, tomorrow I'll be teaching about investment. Today is all about business. But tomorrow, if you want to learn about investment, you don't know any jack about investment and you want to learn, 6 p.m. tomorrow, we'll talk about that. Mr. Henry, I want us to talk about mindsets and common pitfalls that you have seen immigrants do, especially when it comes to business. Now, like I mentioned, you have access to many people that you have taught and you are consulting for. Give me some of the most dangerous advice that you've heard people give to immigrants about businesses in the UK.
It's simple. They tell you not to start. They tell you not to start. They tell you about the tax man. They tell you everything that will make you not to start, apart from the things that will make you succeed. They tell you every reason why you shouldn't start, apart from the reason that will make you succeed, apart from the benefit of it. All right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, how the regulations is there, how there's too much regulations, how the government will come for you, how the taxman will come for you, how you get into trouble, all this jazz. They tell you all that. But they don't tell you how your life can change in this instance, how you can become the boss of your own, how you control your life, how there's no limit to the money you can make, how you can leave it for your children, how it affects the children, the life, the mindset of it. They don't tell you all those stuff because they don't know it. Have you not noticed that if you're learning a language, the first things you learn are what? Courses, right? The first thing you learn in any language is courses. The language of business, the first thing people learn is limitations. It's normal. The bad side is what they learn. It's the same thing with business. It's the same thing with language. So that's it. So they don't know it. They don't know the positive side because they've not done it before. Right? So they will not tell you the positive side. They'll tell you all the things that makes you not to do it. Again, the mindset is Africans, we are our own greatest limitation. And this is not me just saying it here, it's also me. It's also me. I told you I've lost so many things. I've lost confidence, I've lost more things than with fear than audacity. Right? Steps that I'm supposed to take, conversations I'm supposed to hold, times that I'm supposed to show this, but fear will make me I don't want to engage. So the mindset matters a lot. The art of war says, if you know your enemy, he will win that knows his enemy and knows their weapon. But do you know why we keep on losing? Because we think our enemy is out there, but the enemy that you don't know, which is yourself, right? We keep on winning, having edge over you every time. We are our own greatest enemy. So until we have that mindset to understand that there is no reality anywhere. Sometimes when something is bothering me, I'll say to myself, Henry, there's no reality anywhere. What you're seeing now, you are the one creating this reality. You're the one creating this. There's no reality anywhere. You're the one creating this reality. The faster you change, the best for you. There's no reality anywhere, I can tell you. Oh, there's cost of living crisis. It's not true. It is only true for some people. That is their own reality. Oh, the UK is hard. It's not true. It's only true for a certain set of people. That is their own reality. Don't make other people's reality your own reality. That's just it. We're a reflection of what our own reality, our inner conversation is all about. So the earlier we know this, the better for us. He will win that knows his enemy and knows his what did he put? He will win that knows his enemy and the weapons of his enemy. So we are our own enemy. The weapon against ourselves is our mind. That's it.
Mr. Henry, you are dropping things that we want people to go and study book tonight. Guys, I really want us to appreciate what he's doing here tonight. What he's doing for us necessarily is not to tell you what to start with, but it's to tell you where to start from. If you can get the framework, fine. Any idea you drop on that framework would have chances of doing well. That is one thing that I'm hearing from what he's saying. Right. So, Mr. Henry, we're about to round up. I'll give you room to say whatever you want to say now, or it's already 2 hours. I've been streaming for 2 hours already. Guys, if you are joining us for the first time, my name is Jide, your favorite financial educator here on TikTok, and I talk to people about how to position yourself from a financial perspective and stop wasting your time waiting for the system to hand over what you came here to look for. And I do this once every quarter. I call it the Smart Financial Move series, whereby I stream for roughly 15 days from the 15th of the month till the end of the month, showing up every day back to back, considering topics that can give us immigrants leverage here in the UK. And it's been awesome. Today is already day 12. That means I've been showing up every day for the past 12 days, notwithstanding how I feel or what people will say about me. You see what we're practicing what we're saying as well. And I have somebody who is a brother, who is somebody who is a lamplight. And like he said, his name, Henry, is a firstborn, showing you that you can actually come into this country and you don't have to wait until you are 10 years. You don't have to wait until you are 30 years before you start moving into the space where you belong. I don't know how long Henry has been here. I've been here for just 3.5 years. I started with a warehouse job, Tesco. From there, I moved to O2 Arena as a cleaner. From O2 Arena, I moved to a car parts company. From car part company, I moved to Amazon. From there, I entered into the corporate space. In 2 years, I've left the corporate space to face the real thing that is going to work for me. So you can find out that you don't necessarily have to be here for long. And that's why everything you are hearing, if you can listen to the said inside what you're saying, you should be able to sit down and ask yourself, where am I? What is left? Where do I need to start from? Do I need to speak with somebody? Who is the person that can hold my hand in this? Who can show me what I need? What are the information that are left in this space of the thing that I believe I'm passionate about, or I have problem or that I can solve? I have the opportunities that I can leverage on, or I have the privileges that I can use. How can I start navigating around it? So, and one thing, if you are not hearing anything, is that I say this to those who are in my community. I say you cannot edit a blank sheet. It is the book you have started that you can edit. So until you start, you cannot even tell what will do better tomorrow until you start. And every business plan is good on paper. It always succeed and do well on paper until the tire hits the road and you discover that, okay, this on paper is good, but in reality, I have to tweak it this way. But you have to start first because that is where your possibilities are embedded in. Guys, it's been an awesome night, Mr. Henry. I want to ask something. Maybe if you have something else to say, I can give you opportunity to say because there's a lot for me to go and ponder on and use. Guys, this video is going to be made available on my YouTube channel. I've been loading the video for the past 11 days on my YouTube channel. So you can go to the YouTube channel. How do you get there? Go to my bio, click on it. You see a second button to the YouTube channel. Just click there. You see all the different topics that we spoke about. We spoke about credits. I took my time to break down this credit thing and how to do it the proper way. We spoke about debt. How do you use debt? We talk about liability against assets. Which ones should you build? We spoke about budgeting. So we've spoken about several topics from career to insurance. Now we are touching business today. And thank you so much, Mr. Henry, for this awesome 2 hours. Thank you so much. It's been awesome. Mr. Henry, I know there are some people who would like to reach out to you. There are people who would most likely want to have much more tailor-made conversation with you so that they can actually look at this is where I am. How can I move from where I am to where I ought to be? Mr. Henry is not a miracle worker. I think I need to mention that. It's not that you just come to him and drop idea and tomorrow it will become a multi-millionaire. No. That's why you yourself should have done the first work. What I am coming with, is there a passion there? Is there a problem that I have identified with potential to solve based on my experience? Maybe I've gone through it. Number 3, is there opportunity that I have seen there? Number 4, is it a privilege that I want to leverage on? If you don't come with acting and you come with blank sheet, you will go back with a blank paper. So it's a lot easier for him to help in that area. So how can they reach out to you? First and foremost, if you are not following him, please click the follow button. I don't need to say too much about it. Just click the follow button. And the reason why I'm saying so, and this thing I want to say is applicable to both of us. Please, there are a lot of fake Henry idea. At least I know about 40 on TikTok. Fake. And for me, I'm still coming behind him. I've seen at least minimum of 4 fake Jide Neye. So guys, none of us will come to your DM to tell you about one crypto, tell you about one investment. You can see he's showing us all the fake Henry ideas. So you can see there are plenty fake Henry ideas that are there. Do you understand? And I'm saying so why? Because if you don't follow the original one, you will follow the wrong one. So what do you need to do? Just click his face there. If there's no plus button beside his name, click his face. There will be a pop-up. Click on it and follow him so that once it drops information like this, you can always get it. And me too, please, I will never come to your DM. About 1 month or 2 months ago, somebody was scammed about £1,000. Why? Because it came in my name from my platform. That's why I'm careful with people who come, listen for 20 minutes, jump away and move on. I will never come to your DM to tell you about one investment, tell you about one thing, crypto or one marketing. Anything I don't teach you here, please, it is not from me. I will never do that. Thank you, rich lady. Thank you so much, man. It's important, please. I wanted to put that. That's why I put this thing in front here so that nobody go fall for them. Please, they will never come to your DM about anything. Please be very careful. Mr. Henry, how can they reach out to you? If we want to come and maybe drink from your consultancy and see how I can move from my ideation to something I can start small, I can move gradually and also have somebody to hold my hand so I don't repeat the mistake that many people make all in the name of Audacity without information.
There are links on my bio. So at Oreb Limited, what we do is we support people right round from business that have to do with immigration, general business consultancy, whether you're going for innovator founders visa, the skilled worker visa, we support with all that. You want to set up any kind of business in this country, be it from care to logistics and the rest, we do all that. You may be asking, how can one man be able to, cover all this business and the rest? I'm not alone at Oreb Limited. I have several consultants with me. So when it comes to care business, we are well grounded with that. We help people from supported living, domiciliary care, companionship, and the rest, including recruiting agency. When it comes to logistics, any kind of business where you hear us talk about on our page, we support with that. So there are links in our bio for specific service. Use any of the links to reach out to us, and we'll be able to support you going forward. One thing I keep on saying, and I just want to say it here, many people are not looking at the innovator founder visa side of things. I think they are getting it wrong and they are getting it twisted. A lot of people are thinking it needs to be an idea out of this world. All I will tell you, build an idea that is related to your background. You've been doing something in this life. You've got vast experience in something. And from every solution in any field you find yourself, there's a new problem. People used to travel with polythene bag. They used to steal their things in the airport. Someone decided to create a box. When they create a box, there is a zip there. The solution is not there. It only makes the traveling look more sophisticated. Someone need to create padlock. They create padlock. They were still trying to. Someone need to now create the one that they use fingerprint now. So at every point, right, you create a solution for something. There is a new problem to it. Tesla, for example, did not start with building a whole car. They started with building an engine inside an existing model of car. That is how Tesla started. And that is innovative on its own. So think about it. Build something. Build something around your background, and the rest will be history. All right.
Guys, what Mr. Henry brought for us is bucket. But I'm telling you that if you want to connect to the river, get close to him. So if you need his service or you need somebody that can help you, look at what you're doing. For me, I recommend people for two reasons. Number one, reputation, and two, track record, results. Talk is cheap. Anybody can talk. Trust me. To set up ring light and talk is the easiest thing. But two things I always check out for before I bring anybody on my platform. I've checked their reputation and I've checked their track record. And me, I can tell you that he is somebody that you can move close to so that can help you in that direction. Mr. Henry, thank you so much. Thank you for every time we call you, you always respond. For me, this is not taken for granted, and I appreciate that about you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, bro.
All right then.
All right.
I'll be letting the house be out to. We are done, right? Isn't it?
Oh yes,
All right,
you are done, sir.
Let's
You can.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Let me just say this before I leave. Let us not self-sabotage. Don't self-sabotage. As you grow in life or as you take steps, you will see other things that you're not seeing today. Don't self-sabotage, a step at a time. All right? Thank you. Thank you so much. All right then.
All right, bro. I'll reach out to you once we're done. All right, guys. Thank you so very much. It's been an awesome. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody that. Number one. Number two, I want to appreciate everyone that has shared it with somebody that joined and that followed. Thank you so very much. I always say, as beautiful as hearing this is, it is not as important as doing something. Every day I ask myself, what is my take home? What will I do with what I heard yesterday? Mr. Zion was talking about visionary parenting. What will I do with what I have heard? Why? Because what you hear is as good and useless as it is, depending on what you do with it. So I believe all of us that are listening would understand that we can actually create the pathway we are looking for by taking the first step. Some of us need to sit down and ask ourselves, what is that thing that I have all of these things or one of these things around? Passion, problem, opportunities, or privilege. How can I leverage on it to start creating? But guys, one thing that you must understand is you cannot keep waiting for the system. The system was never designed for you. The more you wait, the more system is fulfilling what it was designed for. You were just an introduction into the system. So you have to know that your life, you are responsible for what you become. And guys, ignorance is not a strategy. It is possible, you are correct. It is not possible, you are correct. A man is a product of whatever he has up there or what he's exposed to. So you should understand that we cannot solve the problem at the level of knowledge it was created. So what is the higher knowledge? What is the bigger application I have to bring into it? Tomorrow, guys, we'll be talking purely about investment. Now, I'll be entering into my full regalia and where I belong when it comes to investment. So tomorrow, if you've not heard anything, you don't know what about investment, the only thing you have done investment is to go through ChatGPT to see how to invest. Come tomorrow so that you can do it the right way. So we'll be teaching you what does it mean, what stock, what is ETF, what is all these things, how do you make it, how do you start, what do you do about it. Tomorrow I'll be breaking it down step by step for us so that we can leverage on it. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a beautiful night rest. It's been an awesome time. Thank you. If you are not following me, I'm sure TikTok will not notify you because you are not. So if you stumbled or you are in the FYP, please, we don't bite here. Come inside. This is one of the most LD environments you will ever find yourself, but you will never remain the same by the time you are going. So just click the follow button and let me blow my trumpet. It's not rapture trumpet, but the trumpet I used to welcome all my first timer. You're welcome. That trumpet don't show say you go enter heaven. That's a joke, but thank you so much. Have a beautiful night rest. We'll see you tomorrow by 6 p.m. UK time. I love you, and we can all rise together. It is doable. Thank you. Have a lovely night rest. Bye bye.